So we'll, hey, there's my buddy Craig. What's up everyone? This is Scott with Team 512 and I'm back with another video. In today's video, I want to go over the Team 512 garage, the new layout, and some new features. And then I also want to finish compounding and polishing the C5 now that we have all of the blue wrap off of it. Now I want to try to get the car ready for the June 29th Corvette meetup that Yellow Vet 04 and I organized for this spring. I've got a link down below with some details and an Evite. If you're in the Pennsylvania, New Jersey area, Delaware, Maryland, and you want to hang out with other fans of the Corvette, we'd love to have you join us at Jimmy's American Grill from noon till 4 on Saturday, June 29th. Again, the Evite will be down below. Now, in order to get the C5 ready, I have a few things left to check off the list. The first thing is to finish compounding and polishing that black paint. For this year, for this driving season, I just want to get the paint that's on it in a nice, usable condition. And we'll go over some of that in later on in the video. Now, the first addition to the Team 512 garage that I want to talk to you about is right over, it's actually right over here above my head. You'll see the Team 512 garage logo on a deck lid for the fixed roof coupe that I have. And I ordered that from Sticker Mule, and in 2 or 3 days they had the vinyl decal to the house, and I applied it to the deck lid, and now I have a Team 512 sign hanging up in my garage. The layout of the garage has changed a little bit. If you remember from my previous videos, that workbench that's behind me was on the other side of the garage, right underneath the windows. I decided to move it to this side of the garage to give some more space to work on projects and to give more space to one of the greatest new features I have in this garage. So let's check out that new feature. So I decided it was time to pull the trigger on a Max Jax M6 Portable 2-post lift for the Team 512 garage. And I'm not going to give a full review of the lift in this video, maybe just a little bit of feedback for anybody who's considering getting a Max Jax. I'll just give you some of my impressions right off the bat. I want to use it for a few weeks or a few months, do some larger projects, and then give you more of a review. But I can say for the 2 weeks that I've had it set up in this garage, it has been awesome. Trouble-free, no real problems. If you follow the installation instructions and you have your required 4 inches of depth in your concrete, the install is very smooth, and you know, everything worked out fine. I had to run a dedicated 20 amp circuit into the garage in order to power the power unit, and once that was done, it's been working flawlessly for me. So let's take a look at it. First thing is, I can get this Max Jax lift all the way up with the Corvette on the lift, and I was a little concerned because of ceiling height. I have some ductwork that's running in the ceiling here, and I have about 5 or 6 inches of clearance once the car is actually up all the way. Also, I decided to order the M6 Max Jax, and Max Jax offers the original Max Jax and the M6. The largest difference is the locking capability of the M6. This lift locks like a conventional lift. I think there's 7 locking positions, and so you get it to the desired height, and then you release the pressure, and it will lower down on the stop on either side. And let me take a second here and demonstrate exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so now the Max Jax is up in its highest position, and the rocker panel is about 45 inches off the ground. It's more like 44 and a half. But the question is it high enough to actually do real work under? Well, I'm sitting on a computer chair all the way down. I do have a smaller roller seat stool that I haven't put together yet, but I'll tell you what, oil changes are going to be a breeze in this thing with the Max Jax. And any kind of exhaust work, obviously brake work, tires, suspension, lots of room. The other thing to share with you is the Max Jax lift came with these additional spacers, which will give me another 3 inches of height. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to have to bring the car up, maybe set it on my race ramps, bring the lift down, pop these pads off, insert the spacer, put the pad back on, and then lift the car back up. Nothing inherently wrong with the Max Jax lift. Obviously, it's not a full-size lift, so obviously you're not going to get the car, 7-8 feet in the air. But you know that because you're buying a mid-rise lift. The other thing is for the C5, I need some additional clearance in order to swing the lift arms under the car. So I have these 2x10s that I ramped on both sides, on the rear ones and then on the front side here on the front one. And I basically permanently park my car on top of these things when I pull it in the garage so that it's always ready to go to use the lift. More on the Max Jax in a later video. Let's jump into finishing off this paint. So the first thing I want to do is I want to start out with some Mother's Instant Detailer and a clay bar and take care of this panel. Then we're going to hit it with the Meguiar's 105 and the DA, and then clean it up with Meguiar's 205 on the DA. Let's get started. All right, so what I like to do is take a look at the area that I'm going to be detailing and see if I can find where most of the imperfections lie. And today we're going to finish off the compounding and polishing with this rear panel, this quarter panel, and the door. And I am definitely not a professional at this, so there are a lot of good resources on YouTube, and I've said this before, of some really, really excellent detailers that I've learned from just to get to this point. And I had to overcome basically the fear of taking a compounder or a DA polisher and some compound to my paint. And I've used some test panels, and I've also done some wet sanding on some of this paint as well. And when you're clay barring, you will actually feel when the clay bar is dragging against the dirt, and then you'll feel it almost like it releases. It'll be crunchy, then all of a sudden it'll be smooth, and you'll know. And when you've got some dirt on it, I just like to turn the clay bar over and keep going. Also, another tip is, before you get too ambitious, wipe off the area that you just clay barred so that your detailer or your lubricant doesn't dry to the paint. And again, I'm completely open for feedback, criticism, whatever you want to call it, in my technique. If I'm doing something that doesn't look smart, or if you guys have more experience at this and can offer up some feedback or better ways to approach detailing, clay barring, compounding, polishing, that sort of thing, please feel free to leave me some comments. Let me know what I'm doing wrong so I can learn how to do it the right way. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing to the rear bumper and then we'll jump into compounding and polishing the fender area here. So I've got my DA polisher from Harbor Freight, an orange compounding pad, and some M105 by Meguiar's. And we've got a panel here that needs some attention. So let's get to work. Take a clean microfiber here, and you can see that it didn't leave a ton of residue on this paint, but the effect is really, really good. And you also notice I went over top of this reflector. You're not going to hurt it. In fact, you might actually make it shine a little bit more by cutting some of the oxidation off. But that looks pretty good. I continue on with this panel. So we've got the rest of this quarter panel to go, and I'm going to stop at the rocker. All right, so I just got done compounding the rest of the panels, the rear bumper and the door. Now it's time to use the Meguiar's 205 to polish the paint. I also switched out the orange compounding pad for a blue finishing pad and got a fresh microfiber. So let's get started. All right, so there we go. My first car that I ever compounded and polished the whole entire thing on my own. Not only did I compound and polish this thing, I also removed all of that blue spray-on, dip your car, Plastidip, whatever you want to call it, wrap. Now, let's take a look at the job we did today. This paint has almost a mirror finish, mirror-like quality to it. And the whole car looks that way. Now, of course, there's some scratches and, you know, imperfections in the paint. It's 20-year-old paint. But for the most part, this car has been completely transformed from that blue beast that I bought last summer to this black beauty that we see here. All right, so truthfully, tell me what you think. Did you like the blue Vette better than the black one? Or do you think this looks better in black? Yeah, I think you guys know what I'm thinking. Still some stuff left to do. I ordered, they're actually coming tomorrow, new reveal trim molding. That's this piece here. You can see what happened here, and we've got a crack here, so I've got to replace both sides there, And I also got a new piece of trim for across the top of the windshield here, so I'm going to replace that as well. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the stock hood that I have in here now, and I'm going to refinish the whole thing, and maybe it'll turn out better than the hood that's on the car now. So that just about does it for this video. If you like what you saw, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, leave me some comments, all that fun stuff. I love interacting with you guys, and can't wait to get another video out for you. And remember, June 29th, 2019, Jimmy's American Grill in Bordentown, New Jersey. So if you're in Eastern Pennsylvania, even New York, Jersey, of course, and Delaware, Maryland area, if you want to hang out with some cool Corvette guys like myself and Yellow Vet 04, that's where we're going to be. And so far we've got a pretty nice turnout, but would love to see you there too. That's it for this video. Have a great weekend, guys. See ya.